Hello. Alright, we're going to actually get some painting done today, I hope. It's been a while. Last Saturday I was unable to do any painting because I was doing family things. So these things happen from time to time. But today I'm going to try and continue with our lovely lady here that we're painting. I did manage to squeeze in having a go at making her base, and she stole some of my wife's resin, UV resin, and oh, hello there. Hello there, Ralph. Yes, I'm doing very well, thank you very, very much. As I say, I was playing around with making a base for this model, and I stole some UV resin from my wife and tried to make a little water feature that came out okay. I think I left there was a bubble in there at the bottom or something, so I should have maybe dropped it in from a higher height to reduce that chance, but for a first time using UV resin it seemed to come out okay. So now I'm going to try and do the bottom of this base here so we can kind of blend it into the actual main base, and then we can actually paint with the character on the base perhaps. So we can also blend that character into the base a bit more, make it seem more natural. Just make it look a bit more natural. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Yes. Thank you very much, Ralph. How are you doing? Have you been busy with any painting at all these days, or doing any hobbying or gaming? I've been doing very little in the way of those things. I have been working hard on the edit for the new Defiance mission that's coming along. It has meant that my YouTube has been left to dwindle and stagnate for a little bit, but it doesn't mean I'm not actually doing some work for it. Thank you very much, Linda. Yes, we're doing well. Had a little bit of the reason I'm a little bit late on today, later than my usual time, is my wife hadn't come home yet from work, and then she often stays late and things like that, but I was getting a bit worried. I was like, I'm not going to go on the stream until I've confirmed where she is, and I was calling her and she's not picking up the phone, but again, that's something that's quite common with the work that she does. But she had sent me a message around about 7 p.m. saying that she's coming home, and then it's like I get my daughter to bed and asleep, and then I'm like, okay, now I've got to worry a bit, and she wasn't home yet, and I try and call and nothing happened. But just like at 9:30 my wife calls and she's like, I'm sorry, a co-worker grabbed me and just started talking to me and I couldn't get away from him for ages. And in Japan there's the senpai culture thing, and with the senpai culture, it's kind of like if the senpai is like the person above you at your workplace, if they kind of catch you and talk to you and things, you've got to listen to them. It's a very kind of strict kind of positional authority almost, like certain manner that you have to keep for people above you who have been at the company longer than you. So she got stuck talking to this person for a long time, which she didn't enjoy, but she's done now, so that's good. She'll be heading home soon. But yeah. Oh, nice! You had a tournament. How did you do? Where did you place? Did you win any games? What were you running? I'm just doing this base here. I'll do the base first, and then I'm going to figure out what colour I'm going to do the shoes of her boots, and see if there's anything I want to change there. For now, I just want to kind of get this bit kind of done. And what I'm probably going to try and do is maybe once it's on the base, we can have like a little bit of the green and the grey kind of growing up the side of it with a bit of brown and things. It should be cool. Wait a minute, did I see your... I think I saw a photo. Maybe I saw yours. Yeah, I did see a photo of yours, maybe on Instagram or something, and you had the Maggie at the back, and you had your force that you took with you. Was that your photo? And it said like just went to a tournament thing and took your Hak Islam, and there was like a big Maggie and a bunch of other troops. You had a couple of Muad'Dib, not Muad'Dib. Yeah, it was the Instagram one. Yeah. I saw that. That was cool. I was like, oh, that is awesome. That force there, and cool. I didn't twig. Same person or not. Very nice, yeah. Those are nicely painted models as well. They look good. I liked it. Cool. Yeah, I would love to actually play some Infinity and actually learn how to properly play. I just never have the time. Too many fingers in too many pies. That, and at the moment I'm also kind of enjoying. That's it, Mutawiya. Thank you very much. I'm getting kind of my my June terms mixed up with my Hak Islam terms. Yeah, nice. I really want to try and see if I can actually get a community of people here in Osaka to actually play Infinity, so I can actually play some games. I'm kind of looking for opportunities to go to board game events where there's a number of people and be able to just take at least the starter game, or even just take you Infinity Defiance as a kind of a gateway into an interest into the models and things. But it's kind of hard to do here a little bit. The board game lots don't really go for the don't always go for the miniature gaming elements of things. However, I am also looking to hopefully I would like to supplement my income a little bit with a little bit of commission work if I can find it. And I feel like the board game lot, when they have that game that they really like, and they, you can offer to paint up their stuff, and hopefully get a little bit of a commission or something for that. But yeah, I'm kind of still umming and ahhing over it because I'm just busy at the moment, and it's like, do I really want to take on something like that? I'm just going to kind of give the initial flow of a highlight on here, and I'm just going to do it all in grey. Then we can kind of add colours on as we go, just to kind of make it a bit more interesting. I'm going to add some oranges to kind of give it almost like a rust sense to it. Maybe add some browns in there as well. I hope. Yeah, Games Workshop has been growing in Japan for a while, a little while ago, but again, it's like, it's still finding the people. who are actually playing and things. I could go down to a Games Workshop. To be honest, like they have like some painting competitions and things as well, so it'd be kind of fun to just join some painting competitions just to you know, test my might against other painters and things. But it just means buying some GW models just for the painting side of things, which will be fine. I would probably do that if it was just for the painting competition, but I have to go down there and see. And it's just COVID has been an absolute pain, and because I work at a school and I work with children, I kind of want to limit my risks of getting sick and things, just because there's a lot of interaction with my work, and so you kind of want to be more careful generally, more so than in other jobs and things, because if like a teacher's out or if I'm out or something like that, it does put a little bit of pressure on the rest of the staff and things, and you know, that those things happen, that's fine. But if it's just because I'm being kind of like too nonchalant about where I go and go out, and then I feel a bit guilty about it. So I've been kind of avoiding Osaka for a while. But I should head down to the Number Games Workshop, and also in that area there is also a shop that does a whole bunch of mini games and things. It's just Infinity's not one that's really played, and the problem is the rules aren't in Japanese. Although there might be some English speakers who might be interested in such a thing. Let's get our cold grey. No, that's gunmetal. Don't want that. Go away. Cold grey. That's the one. It's like in the exact same bottle with the exact same top. I saw it looks like someone in I think it was in Germany. He's going to try and put together a big Aristea tournament, which seemed pretty cool. I'm not going to be able to go, but that's another one I would love to do, is an Aristea. Play more Aristea. Just that one though, yeah, there's no one in Japan who plays that game, I don't think. So that's one I have to kind of indoctrinate people into for sure. But that's not too bad because it's quite a fun one. Is finally home and already talking on the phone, probably to other co-workers. Thanks. I hope she's eating. So again, we're just kind of sketching in some highlights. Right now, just doing the grays. As it goes down to the bottom, we'll mix in some more browns and oranges for kind of rust and mud and things, maybe even a little bit of that green that we're using on the model. Not much needed on the back there, I can't really see it anyway. Right, I'm gonna get ourselves a white. Let's just go with the off-white. Thank you very much, Ralph. You take care. Yeah, Stay is a good game though. It's really good. I've got all of the plastic models for that game, so I've got all the characters to play with. Just not so many people to play. But yeah, take care, Ralph. Thank you very much for joining and saying hi. Well done with the first tournament game win. It's good to hear. It's like a stepping stone for you. And yeah, I hope you have many, many more. Alright, I'm just going to be squeezing in the last highlight here. I'm going to try and do this a little sparingly. A few edges here and there. Probably just did too much, but it's okay. So it's something we can tone down later. Try and get a little bit on that upper surface there. There we go. Okay, let's try and do something funky with it now and see how it goes. Hey, hello there. Hello, Hydra. Good to see you. How's Lilith? Is she feeling okay? Because I know in your Malifaux stuff got a little bit delayed because of getting a little bit sick or something. I hope she's doing well. Right. It's a bit number. Yeah, it's going all right. I'm busy, but good. Last Saturday, over the weekend, I had a long weekend, but we spent it all in Wakayama, which is just south of Osaka, where my step family's from, and spent kind of like 3 days there. It was really nice though. It was lovely. Very refreshing. Then getting on with work, we're going through. I work at like a preschool, an international preschool, and right now we're going through the first rehearsals for our winter show, which is kind of a very big event. She had tonsillitis. Oh no, that's not fun at all. Oh crikey. Yeah, I hope she gets some good rest and feels a lot better. Oh dear, oh dear. But yeah, we're going through doing the first rehearsals for the winter show, and I'm a trainer, so I have to watch them all and give feedback and help people and stress them out with telling them when things are looking wrong. But yeah, at the moment that's kind of keeping me quite busy. I'm also working pretty hard on the Defiance edit, so I've kind of gone screw it to my channel for a bit while I just focus on getting the Defiance edit done as best as I can. I have the first 4 turns done. 5th turn is getting close to finished now, and then there's 3 more turns after that, so hopefully that'll be done in a decent amount of time, and then that should hopefully come out in the near future, I want to hope. And then I've kind of gotten some ideas for some videos and things that I'd like to try and do, but we'll see if I can get around to doing any of them whenever. But I'm kind of taking the pressure off myself to produce too much content. I just can't right now. if I want to get these Defiance videos done, I've just kind of just go, the YouTube channel's not going to release anything for a while. Because I could do those other Defiance videos where I'm kind of talking about rules, or I'm talking about the characters and things like that. But that's like, that takes out, like, if I try to do them every week, then 3 or 4 of the days of the week is taken up doing that. And then that pushes back my main Defiance video even longer. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm enjoying actually making these bloody Defiance videos, even though they take me forever. So I'm just gonna focus on them for the time being. Get enough of them out to then maybe go, okay, I'll give that a little bit of a rest and try something new to kind of refresh myself. I've had ideas for how I would approach the Infinity Battle Report, but I also want to do maybe a couple of kind of fun painting videos. I've kind of got a lot of models that are just in my collection that I'm like, do I actually get rid of some of these things? So I'm like wondering about doing kind of an eBay kind of video and just seeing what happens with the models when I put them on eBay. Yeah, life gets in the way as well. But yeah, exactly. I'm doing this for fun, so I'm gonna focus on the fact that I got a little bit like, oh, I'm close to 500. I should try and get 500 subscribers and but I end up focusing so much on that, and like, I've got to release content, that it stops. Yeah, you kind of like burn yourself a little bit by doing that. And like, although I was able to get stuff out, I felt myself feeling a bit stressed by it. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this for stress. I'm going to focus on the thing that I want, and that's going to keep me motivated and keep me going. And that was like, okay, making the Defiance videos. Yeah, it means they're going to be late, but that's fine. So I've got a couple of patrons. They're the ones who are getting content right now, because every time I edit a turn, they get access to that. So they're the ones at the moment who are getting just a bit of content. So that works for me. So as long as they're getting something, because they're the ones who have actually supported me the most, then that's good. I may release like a quick preview video of just the first turn, just to kind of, again, get a little bit of interest back, kind of whet people's appetite. But maybe just the first turn. And so that might be something that I do with these, is as I'm getting through the edit, but there's a little time to go, I'll just release the first turn to kind of, here it is, this is what it's going to be looking like. And I'm liking how it's looking. This one is looking even better, I think. I think it's a bit more exciting than the first one. And I'm doing new things with like zooms and movements and stuff with the camera and stuff, so it kind of is a bit more kinetic as well. But yeah, basically release a little teaser and things, something that I don't have to put much work into, basically, to put something on my channel. It's like, you know, I feel like I can be lazy with a video when I'm working on something that takes me so long to actually make and release. Okay, I'm probably going overboard a little bit on the orange and the brown on there, but that's okay. At the bottom, I'm going to try and... you know what? I might try and stick it on the base. I've really got to sort out my playlist of music. This is insanely stupid music. But yeah. Yeah, we'll try and get it out as much as soon as I can. It's just taking me a long time to edit, to be honest. And I'm trying to get this character painted for the competition that I'm entering. So whenever I get a chance, I try and do some work on it. I kind of want to get it stuck on the base, so I can just kind of work on it whilst it's sitting on the base. I just got to make sure the bottom is done as best as I can. So yeah, I'm wondering, do I keep the shoes red, or do I change up that colour there? I'm a bit miffed on that bit. Because I've also got to decide on the rest of the bits of armour as well. Do I go with any colours there? Alright. Well, you know what, may need some separation from the red, because the red is really taken up by the cloak and things. And there's a lot of cloaking going on, and I think all the armour should be maybe a different colour. I don't know, I'm really stuck on this one. Yeah, of course, that makes sense. Got videos on the schedule, time to go out and play some games. Change it, yeah, I think so. Right, I gotta figure out the colours that I'm gonna do here. Doobie-doobie-doo. So, with this model, I went for a split complementary of this kind of deep red, which gave me a split complementary of this kind of woody green. I'd say a woody green, and the kind of the teal, the turquoise. And so they're kind of like my main colours that I'm running with. But I'm wondering if I just throw in a little bit of black here and there. So I've added this purple, almost this purple, into the leggings a little bit, which is kind of me just kind of keeping in the red, but just kind of making it a bit colder and turned down a bit. You know what, I'm probably going to start with black, and then I can always change it afterwards. But I feel like having it a bit darker at the bottom there, so I'm drawing eyesight up to the top of the model. I feel like the blue hair pulls your eyes up to the head anyway, but I don't want anything kind of confusing you as to where to look. I might need to lighten up some of the top areas there just to really pull it up a bit more and darken maybe the bottom parts of the armor, but we'll see. That's something if I have time to really go at this model, I can start playing around with. So I've already got black on my palette here, so let's just go ahead and do that. It's got a bit of the mud on there from when I placed her on the base to kind of figure out her positions. Okay, there's a kind of like a raised bit there. I'm probably gonna have to do that one just to match the rest of the armor there. We'll see how that looks as I put it in. I've then got to decide how I'm going to paint the sword as well. I wonder if I kind of go for like a fire motif or something with a sword. Make it look like a burning sword. Make her look righteous. So yeah, I'm gonna just go over the black on all these armor bits here to remove kind of the red and just see how it looks. What's the balance like with the colors, and toning everything down with the black. Generally, I didn't want to use blacks and whites and things in that. I'm considering this one more because it's a competition piece, and so it's kind of like, okay, what can I do in terms of colors to, like, my skill is only of a certain amount, but I can kind of maximize my potential with the model if I try to think about a little bit of the color theory of how I approach the model. So the split complementary means that I'm going to get like strong contrasts, which will kind of pull Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. Don't worry, I'll just talk. I don't look at the chat very often. I kind of just have a quick peek to see if there's something new there, and I just see like, there's a whole bunch there. I was like, okay, I gotta respond to that. Yeah, I kind of did the split complementary thing to try and get as much contrast as possible, and then my ethos, is that the word I'm looking for? Is my approach with this particular model was I want high contrast. So I wanted to use as much color as possible, and that's why I kind of actually base coated her red, because I felt then as well any colors that rather than putting colors over black, although that can sometimes allow you to kind of get the shading right pretty quickly and things like that, sometimes you lose some of the intensity of your colors and your paints with the black undercoat. But with this strong red undercoat, hopefully that subtly boosts some of the colors a little bit. But we shall see. I think I've got to put some more green onto these shoes, and then they'll be okay. It's going to need a lot of cleanup and things, but that's alright. We'll hopefully have time for cleanup. Just want to kind of decide on the final scheme, and then I'll be super happy once that's in place, because then I kind of avoid my, I can get out of my decision paralysis. I was kind of recording this kind of whole process on the computer, and I'm just like, screw it, I'm not going to make a video about this. If I'm going to make a video, it's going to be kind of like a very specific thing, and just something that I focus on, perhaps not from streaming. One that I'll do differently. To kind of knock out a lot of this extra red, I'm going to paint the armor here. I'm wondering if I just go with an NMM steel type of thing, just to sort of knock it up a notch there in that sense. But hopefully, yeah, this is kind of like making, I don't know if this is working or not, but we'll kind of figure it out as we go anyway. Be careful of the paint that I've already put on with the green. Previously said I wasn't going to look at the work in progress photos of other people's work for this competition, but I just can't help myself, and I ended up just like going through everyone's work in progress going, I wonder what level of competition you're doing, and you're a potential competitor. But this time I'm not actually sharing my work in progress photos on the forum for it. I'm just gonna release it and see how people react to it once it's done. Okay, I'm kind of, at the moment I'm feeling pretty happy about, it's hard. You just kind of, you get yourself, your head can kind of get yourself into like, I've got to produce content or something like that. And I'm just, I would be able to do it if I didn't demand or making these ultra difficult to make videos for myself. Yeah, comparison is the enemy of progress. Yeah, I try to only compare my work to myself kind of thing. But I look at work, and as long as I'm actually painting, physically painting, and happy with my progress and how I'm improving and looking for improvement and looking to do those things, I do like looking at people who do really good painting. One of my favorite painters is, I think, Mark Maskelin's, and he does a lot of busts, and they're absolutely phenomenal pieces of work. They're like if you see a still image of it, it looks like just a beautiful painting that is done, and then you realize it's like full three-dimensional thing. It's absolutely amazing. But seeing those actually drives me to paint more, because I'm like, one day I would love to be like that. One day I would love to be like that. So in some ways that comparison is driving me, but at the same time I know to tell myself, like, okay, I only compare my work. I'll compare my work to my work, and look for where I'm getting better. And I can see where I've gotten better. I can see like old minis that I painted where I was like, I remember being really proud of that bit. And now I look at it, I can see it with a more critical eye and judge these bits here, and mostly like some of my older work, like the work from a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I would find that the contrast is mostly lacking. So that was kind of like a big thing this past year, has been working on contrast. And I found like, just doing a simple thing like focusing on contrast has made my miniatures just pop more on the table, and it just looks nicer to look at. Just from a distance, I can see more details. I can see where one thing starts and where one thing ends and things. And it's like small things, like doing eyes, thinking about contrast with eyes. I would be able to do the eyes, but could never really seem to define them very well, and it was hard to notice them. And what I realized that I was missing was I'm missing the lining, placing black first is the entire socket, and then within that socket putting in the white of the eye, and then putting in the pupil. And that black line around the eyeball is what really makes the eye work. That's like the most important bit of it that actually makes it go, oh, that looks like an eyeball. Whereas if you don't have that, the whites of the eye just blends too much into the skin tone that you've got there, and you lose it. You don't really see it. It's not defined very well, and it's just it's like a lack of the contrast needed to define those different spaces. It's I don't know. I kind of get caught up in thinking about all of that stuff. You know what? Actually, that's probably okay. All right. I've got this on the palette at the moment. I may build in a little bit. Let's get a little bit of turquoise, and I want to try and do some of the non-metallic metal effect with a touch, just a touch of turquoise, almost glazing it. I think glazing some parts of it, just to give it a subtle effect of color. I'm probably going to screw this up, but let's give it a shot. So I'm gonna just It's going to be hard on this one because it's got all the little ridges and things. And obviously don't worry about answering straight away, but what is it you are airbrushing? Are you working on some Malifaux? As you're kind of going through that at the moment, as the big thing at the moment for you, I think, isn't it? Just mixing a little touch of that turquoise, and we just bit on the gauntlet there, on the wrist, but it's okay. Alright, okay. Put in a little touch of blue, you can kind of see the blue there. Just affecting it slightly. Let's get a touch of white. Just for okay, having that touch, literally just a touch of the turquoise in there, does change the property of the kind of the non-metallic metal that you're doing there, and it's actually kind of, even though on these coils and things, it's kind of difficult to really do a proper non-metallic metal effect. You can still see a kind of a shift with a slight bluish tone in there, which is kind of cool. It gives it a cooler metallic look. Okay, let's just try that a little bit more over here. Blue. Now go up a little bit. "54 droids. Wow, really? Crikey. I was looking a little bit at Legion and going, oh, would that be something of interest? I'm like trying to think of some possible games that maybe my daughter would enjoy, but I feel like doing something like Age of Sigmar might be the best option, because I think Age of Sigmar has a bit of an easier understanding for the rules and things, but I don't know. I'm trying to look for kind of simpler games that maybe my daughter could enjoy playing. I mean, she actually quite enjoys, we did a bit of the X-Wing game. She gets a little bit with it. It can get a little frustrating at times, that game, and you're just kind of circling around each other. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm wondering about, is just getting like a simple warband if she wanted to paint. But right now, she's still a bit too young for it all, to be really into it. So I'll hold on for the time being. But it's something I am thinking about. She likes Infinity because of the buildings. She likes setting up the terrain and creating like a little city and things. but beyond that, the actual game itself is a bit too intense. I don't know what Warcrow's going to be like. Is going to be the issue. Like, how the rules going to be. And looking at some of the models, I don't know if they're appropriate for my 6-year-old daughter with the new kind of body horror type of bad guys. Pretty intense. It'll probably be something like my daughter would be like, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Shoes are not great, but I think it's something we can work on and work with. I think I probably just went a bit too bright. I'm going to make them a little bit brighter now, so more for me. The little touch of turquoise kind of gives them a nice cool colour versus the crate thing that she's standing on, which has all the oranges in it. So even though they're both painted with kind of a grey scale, because I've built in the turquoise into the boots and the orange into the thing, it gives them a bit of separation. Not a fantastic amount, but it is there. Okay, now I feel like I'm ready to try and put this onto the base. And start blending it all in together. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I kind of love, I dig that stuff, and I think it'd be fun to paint a bit of a different theme and style. But it's maybe a little bit too intense for my daughter at this. But I'm not going to be getting into Warcrow. As much as it would tempt me to do so, I've already got I already have a dungeon crawler to be trying to finish off and play through. I'm not sure if I could do a Warcrow campaign as well, a Warcrow Adventures campaign. We'll wait and see what the actual war game is like. So, to be honest, actually, the boots now kind of blend nicely into the floor, so it's already kind of almost blended in a little bit. So it doesn't, like, your eyes are kind of drawn up through this model, I think, as the base of it is quite dull compared to the top, which is quite bright. which is kind of the thing I want. It's kind of an interesting base, but it doesn't overtake the model, which is, again, something important. I will kind of try and pick out some details on this base. This music is nuts. What's going on? Very much. I don't know. She's not epic yet. It's working. Like she's getting there. She's getting there. I need more contrast in those leggings though. They're a little too dull. But I need to also finish off all the cloaks and things and get that same kind of tone from the back as I have on the back onto the front. So I think that's probably my first thing I've really got to work on, is getting those tones up there. So let's have a go at doing that now. So I believe I had I should really watch what I'm doing. I think is Fire Flame one of them? No, that's kind of pinky. Boom. I think you are possibly one. Sanctuary Red, yeah, you are one. And probably Inferno Red? Possibly Inferno Red. And then I went up to an orange as well. So let's just knock on these reds and we should be good to go. And that'll be sweet. So, that red there, that red there, and we've already got the, yeah, there we go, that's a good range there, and then we've got the orange as well to really knock it up, son. Oh, I need the depth as well, and that was with crimson, so we can put in a little bit of the crimson in there as well. Get the nice shadows and things. This gives it a bit of a purple, kind of purpley red. It just kind of knocks it down a little bit there as well. So we can put those into the recesses, build up the other areas, and we should be all good. So this is just going to be a case of just kind of working back and forth until I feel happy with everything. Just hit everywhere where the light doesn't hit on this. I'm going to work on one area at a time, so otherwise my focus is going to be pulled out everywhere. And I just kind of want to get each bit right first before I move on. We can go back and forth with this with a bit of wet blending, possibly. So this is quite a nice intense red, so we can kind of start pulling up. Always find I struggle with getting the right points for the highlights. We'll see. I have been kind of watching a bit more TV these days as well, so that kind of takes up a bit of time just to kind of give myself relaxation. I try to only do it after I've done some editing or done some painting to be like, okay, that's my reward for getting some hobby done, proper hobby done, without me losing any losing my routine of at least doing some hobby work. And so I've been watching a bit of The Expanse. So there's this certain elements of Infinity-esque stylings to it. That's for sure. But it's been quite enjoyable to watch. I've got the new season of Rick and Morty. I've been watching that. It's been alright. I've not really been tempted by the new Lord of the Rings TV series. I'm just not expecting it to be anything decent, to be honest. And Amazon disappointed me so much with the Wheel of Time season they made. Yeah, it is important to try and do a little every day. There's a really good book I recommend for anyone. I haven't read the books. No, not for Expanse. I haven't read the books. I've read the books for Wheel of Time. I'm up to like the 6th book, I think, in that series. Wheel of Time. I'm kind of going through 3 series of books at the moment, and I kind of jump back and forth whenever I'm like, okay, I've kind of burnt myself out on that series for a little bit. I need a little rest. I'm going to go back to this other series. So the 3 series I'm going through is the Wheel of Time series, the Lee Bardu. Is it Lee Bardu? Bardugo or something? What's his series called? Shadow and Bone, and the other one I'm reading basically as the books come out. I'm doing it all through audiobook because that's kind of easiest for me to be able to actually get through books and things. Is the oh god damn it, what is it called? The new book is called Dreadlord. That one's got like not like a Wheel of Time, but it's like the Circle of something. I can't remember what the series is called now. But it's really cool. It's kind of based on a lot of kind of like, it's kind of got Avatar, The Last Airbender qualities to the story and the character and things, and it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it quite a lot. I've enjoyed it quite a lot. I'm just waiting for all of the books to come out all the time. But that one's a good one. Weird. But yeah, I should try and check out the Expanse books perhaps. Oh, Lee's okay. There, that would make sense. It reads like, yeah, the characters read a little bit more. There's yeah, what's it? It reads the romantic parts of it read a little bit more of a feminine bent than how a man would probably write it. But that's been fairly enjoyable. I think the first book was really good. Second book was interesting and some cool ideas. I'm doing the third book as well, but I always find that the beginnings of those books are a little hard to really enjoy at first, but then as it goes and it builds, it gets a lot better as it goes along. But yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm kind of interested because I really enjoyed the Netflix first season that they made. I thought that was kind of fun, and so that kind of pulled me towards the books when I was like, I don't know what to read, and I was like, oh, let me try that because the series was pretty cool. It's kind of enjoyable. I forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah, I'm working on this cape. I'm really excited to read those because they're the characters I liked in the TV series. So I've been kind of like working. I'm on the third book at the moment of the original kind of trilogy, and it's all kind of an excuse to try and get to those stories eventually. Because I'm like, oh, they seem like fun characters. Like I found like watching the TV series, I was like there's the main story going on, and those characters kind of appear. Like I see that they kind of try to combine it all into one thing. But those characters, the way they play in the TV series, it's like, oh, they're player characters in a role-playing game. Because you kind of got all these unique characters with all their unique skills and things, and the way they kind of jump into adventures and stories and things. They feel like player characters, all with like slightly different personalities and things, but they always come together like a good player character party would. So it's kind of fun to watch as a TV show, just because of that kind of interaction that they have with each other. Not put on such a thick amount. As I continue to just do what I was doing anyway. I think I got it into a good situation, and now I've kind of fudged it up a bit. I think that's why I kind of really enjoyed the series, was just for those characters and that kind of how they kind of how it plays out. It's like, oh, this is kind of like the Dungeons and Dragons TV series that I would always have wanted. It's just not Dungeons and Dragons. That's how I see it anyway. Where others always kind of fudge up how you do like those role-playing games into a TV series or into a movie and things like this TV series actually kind of got it right, or at least perhaps the book is written the same sort of style. I don't know. I'm interested in reading that part of the series of books. Okay, we're getting closer to that effect now. I think maybe I can start working on these other bits of the cloak here. Oh, thank you very much, Hobby Hut Wargaming. I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm trying to push myself on this model as best as I can. It's a competition piece, so I'm entering it into a competition, and hopefully it'll do all right. I just gotta make sure I put in the time to make it look good across the whole thing. But thank you very much. The paint scheme is kind of I used a split complementary color scheme to try and push the contrasts of the model as best as possible. So my kind of primary color is the red, kind of like a deep red, with complementary kind of woodland green and turquoise to a light turquoise as the kind of the main color schemes, and that kind of helps push it. I got to kind of build up the lower half of her body a little bit, but without it taking over the upper half. So I've got to try and find this balance right. It's a bit difficult, but we're getting there. But thank you for the very kind words. I'm just kind of slowly trying to build up all my layers. And trying to get this girl looking right. With a little bit of the crimson, the dark crimson, just to give some contrast there between the folds. So go and hit it with this, what looks like a purple, and it's pretty thin right now. It's like a glaze, which is probably going to serve me fairly well. Some of that separation there. So she's kind of got different like folds of cloak. I would be tempted to do it another color, but I feel like that would just get too busy on the model. I kind of want to keep the red as all of the cloth. I could try maybe a different tone of red. Perhaps we could go with a cooler red rather than the warm red, and that might be the contrast there that we get between those different types of fabrics. But I don't know. I'm not going to risk going crazy right now on it. So I've got the this nice intense red. I'm going to try and just bring up the intensity of some of these areas. Again, just kind of repeated layers will hopefully give us a blended look to them. These ones don't have the greatest. They're fairly translucent, these paints, which works quite well if you're patient with them. But otherwise they can be a bit of a pain to use. Because reds usually are not so translucent. You can kind of slop them on, they'll be pretty strong. They have a fairly good opacity compared to other stuff. This is the Defiance Sculpt of Cassandra Kusanagi, who's the nomad battle nun, for want of a better term. And yeah, I'm just kind of going for my own colour scheme here. It does actually fall a little bit in line with the colour schemes of the nomads with the red, but the green is a little bit of an original thing there. Mostly I don't collect nomads, so I don't really care what colour scheme I do with her. And her pose was really nice. I thought this would be a really great model for the competition. And kind of like a fun pose to paint as well. This is a really nice model to paint. So I wanted it to look really good. So hopefully I'll get there eventually. This patience. It's something that dwindles very quickly. Makes me bored very fast. Makes me want to go and do other things. But I'm trying to be a good boy and work through the desire to do other things and actually stick with it. Oh, Reverend Mother, yes, that's it. Yeah, I've also got JSA is one of the groups I have. And the fact that a Japanese character is kind of like, oh, I wish she could have just been in JSA as well, but she's just purely nomad. Okay, let's try and get this side now. So we need to start making this side pop a little bit more. There we go. Nice, because I haven't painted for like a full week right now, almost. The only thing I was doing in that week, I ended up doing the base here, which was fun to do. It was just like a fun aside. It was like when I was like, oh, I don't want to paint the model, let me have a go at doing the base. But it's kind of nice getting the base done, because then I'm just like, oh, thank God it's done. I don't have to worry about what's the base going to be for this competition model. It's kind of it's there, so I'm kind of good for that. Yeah, there's a few, I think there's some bubbles in there that I missed, which is kind of a pain, but you don't really notice it unless you look carefully. So I'll just be very careful with how I photograph this model for the competition. Okay, let's now get in the orange. Lovely jubbly. Okay, if I can get all of those red parts looking nice, I might have to go over the fingers and things with the black again to kind of match the rest of the armor pieces, and I just kind of want to avoid having too much red everywhere. I just kind of, if I can stick to red being the cloth, I think we're onto a good scheme there. Some of the separation of these is a little hard to see, so I think I'm going to go with a deeper, darker red, perhaps mixed in with a bit of black, just to kind of do the recesses so it separates the different parts of the model. So like this piece of cloth is not connected to this other piece of cloth, so I need a separation line so you can kind of clearly see that, otherwise it blends too much into each other. If you think I'm thinking too much about it, you're probably right, and I'm just going a little bit overboard on my thinking of how to approach the model. Shoot. I cleaned it as best as I could. Little mistake where I got it on the green armor, a little red mark. Got most of it off with my safety brush. But there is still a little bit of a mark. We can go over that though and fix that. It's not the end of the world. Okay, we're getting some of that intensity in there, that's great. That's actually, even just having that contrast there building up, it's already starting to separate those two things, so separate those two pieces of cloth fairly well, so that's actually looking alright. Start building in a little bit of the orange as well. And just hit the bits now that are being caught by the light. Then we go up to the pure orange, almost pure orange. Excuse me. I don't know how it's looking on the screen, but I'm fairly happy with the progress we're making here. Now, one of the things I really wanted to do was just fix the eye just a touch, but I have a horrible feeling I'm going to screw it up. Oh, I'm so going to screw that up if I try and play around with it. I'm not going to do that today. Not feeling confident enough for that. Right, I've got just a little bit of that cloth there to do some work with. Whoa, don't be flipping around on me. Exact with that. But I've got some on there. Okay, whilst I wait for that bit to dry, I'm going to do the black of her. I'm going to do the hands. So the hands are probably black there. And she's holding on to something, so I will try and paint that another colour. we'll see about that. That means doing OSL. I'm not the best at doing OSL, to be honest. I kind of want to avoid gimmicky paint techniques as much as possible for this one. Yeah, that tones it down quite a bit. Yeah, thank you very much. You take care, and yeah, good luck with all the videos and things, and good luck playing Legion as well and getting all those models painted. It's always a pleasure to have you join the stream. Always makes my day. So thank you very much. Take care, and I'll catch you later. I'm just going to do a little bit more of this, and then I'm going to call it a night, I think. Maybe watch one episode of Expanse before I go to bed as well. And then that will kind of do me. So there's lots of little places that I could clean up what I'm doing, but the cleanup will come later. Right now I just want to make sure everything's roughly the right color and where it's supposed to be. So yeah. Right, now with, that should be dry, so let's go ahead and start adding some of the intense reds. With a little bit of black in there. Proving a little bit tricky, but okay. Right, let's try and get some of the white that we're going to be putting onto those bits of the cloak, and then that'll hopefully start to finish setting the theme of the model a little bit more. So I think I used an ice yellow first for the initial coat, and then we kind of build it up to the white. Just because this one's got better coverage than a white does. So hopefully it will reduce the number of times that we have to kind of rinse and repeat. Figure out exactly what this design is on the bottom here. It's pretty difficult. Oh, hello Scott 5. Welcome, welcome. Nice to see that you popped in. Your stuff was looking really good. You got so many of those models done. I was really impressed. And I really like the all the kind of the different contrasts of the orcs' clothes and things. They look really fun. Like, I bet they look really good on the table when you're playing. Big sloppy. Make sure I don't miss these bits here and here. Don't worry about that, because I'm going to be painting you another colour. Yeesh. Don't know. Yeah, but patch painting's fun, isn't it? Very roughly down on the front there, but it's getting something there. Thank you very much, Linda. It was lovely to have you just in the background there. I'm always very happy to see you join in, even if you are lurking and knitting away. So thank you very, very much. It's always a pleasure to have you. So take care, have a lovely day. Okay, right, I'm getting close to that point of the day where I'm like, okay, I'm kind of done for the day. I don't think I want to touch anymore in case I screw it up. We'll do the hands. Let's do the hands. it's kind of, whilst it's on our palette as well, we've got all the colours that we need for doing what we're kind of doing with the Under Armour parts, which is dark grey first. So we'll just go over the hands that way. Do these ones as well. Then we're going to be mixing in the kind of the turquoise and grey. Too much turquoise. Just to give the kind of the subtle hint of the blue in there. Let me go a little bit lighter with the cold grey. I'm going to try and keep some of that blue in the back though, just so it kind of gives a little subtlety to the depth. I don't know if it really does that. I'm just kind of making that up as I say stuff, because I feel like I should say stuff. And when I start saying stuff without thinking, it's probably not something true. Right, let's mix in a little bit of you. Is all I'm going to say about that. I'm just going to spot it white. See if the spots help. Okay, I'm getting messy, I can feel it. I'm gonna start mucking things up if I keep going on like that. Okay. But, okay, it's starting to take some shape now. We're getting closer to what looks like an actual paint scheme, I guess. So, this is okay, it's okay. I've got to do a lot of the detail work, so I haven't touched any of the little details of things like hanging down the belts and other things, but I think we've got our colours mapped in properly now. The reds aren't taking over too much, but there's still a primary colour there, I think. But we've got to get some of this separation at the bottom here, maybe get some more highlights in, we get a bit more blending across, just to kind of give it a little bit more punch. And variety. I wonder if I just have a very quick play around with the warm red blending up to the crimson there. So we've kind of got a lot of what we use for some of this legging area here. Just to bring that up a little bit on the knee, on the inside there. I think this is what we do. Just again, just to bring it up a little notch. Give it again, give us a little bit of contrast, a bit of light, a bit of something to look at on the lower body. The upper body's got so much contrast going on, but the lower body's so flat, and it just doesn't look quite right. It doesn't sit right with me. I think we've got to work a little bit more of this in. But we've got to be careful not to do too much, because again, we don't want to pull away from the top of the body. The top of the body is what's pulling most of the attention, and we want it to be up there. But it's too stark a difference of going from contrast to kind of flatness. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Hello there, Tablecraft, and welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. Are you doing any hobbying yourself at the moment? Okay, let's try going a little bit lighter and seeing how that looks. Yes, I am still working on my Nomad Nun for the contest, mainly because I haven't painted any of it for like a week. And so I got a fair bit done today now over the stream, and now I'm kind of working on just building some contrast into the legging areas, and hopefully some smooth blends. And I think it's getting there. It's just I get a lot of decision paralysis. I've been able to work on the base. That's the only thing I've been doing over the week, is every so often just doing a little bit of the base. Not much. Just a little bit, reading my wife's UV resin to kind of do a water feature at the bottom. Hopefully that's okay. Assassin Baram. All right, lovely. Is that the? Did you get the new set? Blackwind. Is it the Assassin Baram from there? Or is it just some random Assassin Baram? Or does HB stand for something else? I'm pretty sure it's Assassin Baram. Righty, then. Right, this blue here. Do I dare? I dare. I think I want this one to be more of a glaze, so we're going to just get a little bit of water in there, get that nice and thin, so it's pretty transparent. Just flick that up a little bit. Oh my god, I did too much. Did I? Yes, I did. Right, yeah, the new sculpt that's kind of like throwing people off, because they look quite different, yeah. And to be honest, like the Moebs that we had were not that old, so I was kind of surprised that they went for a resculpt for the Moebs. because they're not that old, to be honest. They're still like the digital sculpts. So that was kind of a surprise. Okay, well that's knocked up the leggings a little bit there. Let's see how high we go with this. Are you going for the traditional colour scheme with your Assassin Baram, or do you have your own original colour schemes going? Oh, okay, I'm starting to get the contrast I'm looking for here. Oh, hoy. Okay. I've kind of got to review and think about what I'm going to be doing next. I do have to attempt this sword sometime. I was thinking of doing a kind of like a fiery sword, but I'm not sure. I might still match the might get lost with the cloak that's already around there a lot, so I have to think about that. Maybe not fiery. Could go with the kind of the blue steel, but that's again, it's gonna clash a little bit with the hair. I could a purple. I don't know. I literally do not know how I'm going to do her sword. That's a pain. Any ideas for the colour of the sword? The sword. I could just try any colour and just see if it works, and then change it up from there. Oh, crikey. Hard one to choose. Oh well. For the time being though, I'm pretty happy with where she's at. There's a lot of detail work to do. I do want to lighten up her armour at the top, really kind of bring your eye up towards it. But for the time being, I think I've got the placement of my colours. That'll be kind of like a base position there. I think I'm going to call it a night for me tonight, because it's 11:30 today at the evening. I would like to watch one episode of Expanse before I go to bed, so I'm probably going to have to call it a night there. And I'm at that point where I'm at decision paralysis, where I'm just like looking at it going, I don't know what I'm going to do next. Don't know what I'm going to do next. So you're just going to be hearing me just umming and ahhing over it if I don't just finish. So thank you very much for all of you who joined. Sorry, Tablecraft, you just joined and everything. Bronze sword could be good. Yeah, oh! I could do an NMM bronze. I might play around with that idea. Thank you very much, Hobby Hut. That? I'm pretty turned on to that idea. Thank you very much. I think that's where I'm going to leave it there for tonight, and I think that's where I'm perhaps going to start off on then. For if I can, I'm trying to try and be on Saturday at the same time, so I might try and go on from there and have a go at doing a bronze sword. I like that. That'll be cool. Okay, thank you very, very much. That is absolutely fantastic, and thank you all for joining today. I was really happy to have just people just dropping in throughout and just chatting for the whole time, whilst I'm also actually getting painting done. Perfect combination for tonight. So thank you. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you the next time I see you. So thanks so much, everybody. Alright, that's enough of me saying thank you and everybody multiple times. I'm just gonna finish up there and go to my other screen. So see you. Bye bye.